Hey, 920, welcome back. You know, it's hard enough for adults to speak up for themselves, but what about our kids? Dr. Martha Durham is here to teach us how to help our kids learn to advocate for themselves. Doc, is some of that just shyness on children's parts?
Whether it is or it isn't,
Yeah.
we have to negotiate in life every day.
Yes.
And you're going to have to overcome shyness to be able to do that. And one of the things that happens if you don't is that you become resentful. You start to have failure thinking. I can never do anything. Nothing will go my way. And if children can't do it, they become adults who can't do it.
So speak up.
Speak up. Have a voice. Be assertive. Yes.
But what do you mean when you say advocate? Do you mean for mental health? Do you mean just for day to day? I don't want to eat broccoli, or I don't want to go to this event. You know what I mean? Like,
every one of those.
Okay.
And the key is to help someone understand you're not always going to get your way, but when you use your voice, you don't build up that resentment. And you learn how to compromise and negotiate something.
Yeah.
So the broccoli situation, you know, I would
Don't ask
encourage you
about
can say, okay, well, is there another vegetable you'll eat? And if not,
can I do the green beans?
yes. Now, if you've got a picky eater who's got some control issues, that's different. We can talk about that a different,
Right, that's
you
a
know,
whole other
segment.
bag of tricks you're going to need.
Yeah, but I'm really talking about, let's say you take a test and your answers were right, but you got them marked off. So you bring that home to mom and dad and you say, I'm afraid, I don't want the teacher to get mad at me. Well, I think you should teach your child how to go up and say, hey, let me show you this. And if the teacher isn't being reasonable, then a parent can get involved.
Right.
But that's a simple thing, but it's a really important thing.
That's such a big deal, Martha. I just had this conversation with Will, because you know
Yes.
last week they were doing the e-learning through
Yes.
snow.
Oh, I hate it.
And he had to present this like big project.
Yes.
First of all, that'd be hard to present in front of people normally, but then
Yes.
presenting like online and with distractions of brother and sister being at
Yes.
home too. He fumbled through something, so we got a couple, points off. I was like, listen, I don't know if it's going to make a difference or not, but if you feel like you can do better, I was like, why don't you email your teacher and be
Sure.
like, listen,
Yeah.
be honest, be
Yes.
like, I was off my game a little bit,
Yep.
brother and sister at home, I can do better.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was like, is that going to be okay? I'm like, do it. I'm not sending
What's
it.
the worst
but
that
if-
can happen?
Think
She
on his
can say
own.
no,
As I
but
said, yes.
he feels some confidence that he did it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and teachers love that.
And then it just shows that like you kind of care and you're
Yes.
taking things into your own hands.
Yes.
And you know,
absolutely.
being children, the second thing you got to teach them in speaking up is do it mannerly.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Jack. Yes.
Absolutely.
Manners have to be a part of that.
If you're a shy kid, teach them how to look someone in the eye.
Yeah.
Teach them to accept if the person says, no, that's not going to work out. Yes, absolutely. You cannot go in and be a Karen.
Right.
And I kind of want to bring that up. I worry a little bit. We've got this culture now where any complaint
Is a Karen.
is a Karen.
Right.
And I, as an adult, I'm 56, will sometimes go, can I say that?
Right.
Because I don't want people to say I'm a horrible person.
Right.
And so what you have to do is weigh things. Like if I'm in a restaurant right now and there's poor service, I'm probably not going to say anything because there's so few workers and the people who are working, I'm so happy that they're doing that.
Right.
But if I'm paying for luxury service and I'm not being treated right and blah, 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 you should say, hey, that wasn't the best, whatever.
Right.
You don't have to have an attitude. Listen,
Yeah.
it happens to me probably once a month now, and I'm 56 and I'm a psychologist.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's true because you also get in, growing up, like whatever the adult says
Yes.
is a thing. So we try to work on our house, like, listen, you're allowed to have a different opinion. If I
Absolutely.
say something, don't just sit there and whine and be like, I don't want to do that. That's,
Right.
I immediately. But if you want something, try to
Yes.
present a case.
It's
Yes,
better to speak up
absolutely.
at
You
the
know,
moment
talk.
and do it mannerly as opposed to letting it fester.
Yes.
And keep it inside for a while.
well,
And
when you
then
do
you blow
that,
up.
yes, you do. And
Yeah.
I've done that. If I'm doing that, other people are doing that.
Sure.
You know, I'll tell you, I had a college student recently who had a grade situation. It was really unfair. Something was put in as an F when she had 100. If she could look at some stuff, it was like, this is a mistake.
Right.
She was so terrified of doing that. I don't want to offend anybody.
Oh, gosh.
We had to sit in my office, and that was our session, teaching her how to send the email, how to say it. I mean, this stuff has to stop, y'all.
Yes,
You
because
know?
Martha, think about it though. Like, think about just the repercussions it could have. Let's take a girl that doesn't want to offend somebody. So
Yes.
maybe she goes out on this date that she didn't really want
Thank
to
you.
because she felt bad for the person. Think about all the things that could.
No means no. Set your boundaries. Have your voice. Be polite.
Sure.
Be
Yes.
constructive in your feedback. And don't be afraid of offending someone who might be taking advantage of you, or just they don't know what's happened.
Yeah, but
Right.
you know, with social media, that's
Oh,
a
my
whole
goodness.
another different thing. I'm not talking about bullying, but just corresponding or talking to someone without the emotion of looking them in the face.
Yes.
Emails don't
Keyboard
get everything
warriors.
done. Text don't get
Yeah,
everything done.
Lord knows we got a lot
Face
of.
to face is good. Like, I'm probably never going to go on and slam a business or something unless something really bad has happened, and occasionally I probably have in my past. I probably wouldn't do it now.
Right.
Because I think it's so dangerous to have
Yeah.
people jump on and attack and assassinate character
Right.
because of one instance.
Right.
It's mature and it's kind to tell a person.
Well,
Right.
see, the
Face
people
to
that can't
face.
speak up in person are the ones that write the nasty text.
They
sometimes.
do, but maybe because they never had a voice. If you don't have a voice, don't have a voice, don't have a voice, then you kill a fly with a cannonball.
Yeah.
And nobody understands that.
Right.
They go, what's wrong with that person? He or she is crazy. No, they just never said what they needed.
Right.
So it's so important. With kid stuff, talking to coaches.
Yeah.
Talking to teachers.
Band directors.
Yeah, just out in the world. If somebody charges you wrong at the, gas station at the Sphinx when you're getting your Gatorade.
Right.
Be able to say, oh, hey, I think it was this much. It's just life.
It's just like that.
Yes.
That's happened to me before. Coming back from
Yes.
concessions, and I'm like, "Where's the change?" Like, they didn't give it. They made a mistake. I'm like, "Well, go get that." They're
Yes.
like, "No, I don't want them to think." I'm like, "It's okay." But I mean, that's just how.
That's the thing.
It's just how.
They don't want anyone to think badly of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
It's not bad to say
To
what
stand
you
up
need.
for yourself.
And
And do it
another,
a nice
another
way.
great old phrase is pick your battles.
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, I'm not going to complain to a business that has very few workers
Right.
who are just
Yeah.
trying to provide a
Think about it.
service.
Think
That's different.
Think about
Yes.
it.
What would you do though? Because like you were talking about the shy kids. Sometimes if you are really shy, looking you in the eye and saying, "Thank you for having me, Miss Martha," like
Yes.
that's like a big deal and
It
a lot
is.
of anxiety. So how? Because just tell them, "Oh, Jack, just go talk to her." That's easier said than
Yes.
done.
Yes,
How
yes.
do you work on that?
At the beginning, I think you can provide scaffolding. So you walk up with your child and you say, hey, tell Mrs. So-and-so, thank you.
Yeah.
And you're with them and they do that. But there are exercises you can do. When my boys were like 10, 11, I would sit in the car and say, you go in and buy that pack of gum.
Yes.
Or we're at a restaurant and I would look at them and say, tell the waitress or waiter what you want.
Uh-huh.
They hated it at first. Now they do it without any
Yeah.
issues. So
Yes.
start it young, get them to do that, and then it becomes second nature.
And they are nervous at first, and it's kind of cute
course
looking
they
back.
are.
And they, how I'm like, Will, do you remember when you were so nervous to order chicken fingers?
Yes.
And but now it's like,
Yes, you're going to create an adult who can handle life, who can roll with the punches, and that's our job.
It's tough growing up.
It's tough growing up, and it's tough being an adult. A lot of adults have problems with this.
And no parent ever raised a kid right.
Nope.
We do our best.
Doing our best.
Yes.
Because too, for the kids that are shy, sometimes you get a bad rep. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there was a little kid that I was coaching. He would never look me in the eye, and I'm like, look me in the eye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I got to know. I'm like, he is just, brutally shy.
Yes.
So as the season went on, it got more and more. But I mean, your first judgment was like, all right, little jerk, or why are you not?
Yeah,
You- it's just
so
first
a lot
judgment.
of anxious people seem aloof or mean. If you don't look at people, we interpret that as you're lying. And
Yes.
you're not. You're just uncomfortable.
Right.
So helping
Yeah.
kids overcome that awkwardness is super
And
important.
shyness does come across as being
It
conceited.
can.
Yeah.
It can. Yeah,
Sometimes
it's
you got to
not fair.
get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's right. Lean into it, people. Lean into
Yes.
All right.
it.
Well,
Yes.
you need extra help talking to Dr. Martha about all kinds of topics.
Yep.
She will hook you up. NorthMainCounseling.com is where you can find her and her great team. So thank you, Doc.
Thank you.
We like
Thank
it
you,
when you
Doc.
come on.
I
We'll
love
call
y'all.
you when we have
Yes.
a problem.
Yeah.
It was just like every day. Doc, what do you
Nah,
think
y'all
about
are
this?
awesome.